Flying in 2025 feels routine until you find out what's really going on behind the scenes. Today, we're revealing the secrets airlines don't want you to know, straight from ex-flight attendants and crew who lived it. Number 14. The real reason flight attendants avoid hot coffee. There's a reason most flight attendants would rather stay thirsty than sip the in-flight coffee, and it's not because they're picky. It all starts with where that hot water actually comes from. Unlike bottled drinks, the water used for tea and coffee is drawn from built-in storage tanks inside the aircraft. And here's the issue, those tanks aren't cleaned nearly as often as they should be. According to several airline sanitation audits and a study by the Environmental Protection Agency, many aircraft water tanks have tested positive for bacteria like E. coli and Staphylococcus. Some flight crew even joked that they'd trust tap water in a sketchy hotel before drinking what's brewed on board. The truth is, these tanks are difficult to clean thoroughly, and with tight turnaround times between flights, proper sanitization rarely makes the checklist. If you've ever seen a flight attendant quietly choose bottled water or soda during a break, that's not just a preference, it's experience. They've seen the insides of those maintenance reports and know that even boiling the water doesn't guarantee total safety, especially with older aircraft systems. So what should you do? Simple. Opt for sealed drinks. Ask for bottled water or canned soda. You'll stay hydrated and avoid sipping something that might do more harm than good. After all, when the very people serving the drinks don't trust them, maybe you shouldn't either. Number 13. Your window seat is actually a freezer. Sure, window seats are perfect for watching the clouds roll by or grabbing a selfie with the sky, but there's something most passengers don't realize until they're shivering mid-flight. Those seats are freezing cold, and it's not just in your head. The outside air during high-altitude cruising can dip as low as negative 60 degrees Celsius, that's negative 75 Fahrenheit. While the aircraft's insulation blocks most of that extreme chill, the walls near the windows still let in more cold than you'd expect. It's subtle, but after a couple of hours in flight, that drafty feeling starts to creep into your bones. Flight attendants, especially those who worked long-haul routes, will quietly tell you they always avoid window seats when they're off duty, not because they don't enjoy the view, but because they've learned the hard way just how cold it can get, especially when passengers are dressed for summer weather and flying through sub-zero skies. So what's the fix? Always pack a lightweight layer, even if you're flying out of a tropical climate. Ask for a blanket if you're starting to feel the chill, and if you're prone to getting cold easily, consider choosing an aisle or middle seat. It might not come with a view, but it'll keep your body temperature steady. Cold windows, warm plane food, and the hum of the engines might seem like part of the flying charm, but trust us, no one wants to land with frozen knees. Number 12. Tray tables and seat pockets, the hidden biohazard. They look harmless, even helpful, those fold-down trays and little seat pockets right in front of you. But if you knew what was lurking on them, you might think twice before resting your snack or stashing your headphones. Here's what former flight attendants revealed. Those surfaces are not cleaned between every flight. In fact, unless the plane is undergoing a deep clean overnight or during a long layover, most trays just get a quick visual check, if that. And seat pockets? They're like forgotten drawers, filled with the leftovers of hundreds of strangers. Flight attendants have witnessed passengers changing diapers on tray tables, blowing their noses and tucking tissues into seat pockets, or even stashing gum, food wrappers, and worse in those little storage slots. The next time you board, you could be leaning your elbows on a surface that's seen everything from spilled drinks to used wipes. This isn't just gross, it can actually be a health hazard. Microbiologists who've tested airline surfaces have found bacteria levels higher than in public restrooms. So what do the crew do when they fly as passengers? They bring disinfectant wipes, always. Some even carry a small barrier, like a napkin or paper towel, to put between their items and the tray. If you really want to travel smart, do the same. Don't eat directly off the tray, never put your phone or personal items in the seat pocket, and give everything a quick wipe down before you settle in. A little awareness goes a long way toward keeping your trip both clean and comfortable. Number 11. Best time to fly. Flight crew scheduling hacks. Ask any flight crew member when they prefer to fly, morning or afternoon, and you'll almost always hear the same answer: early. It's not just about avoiding crowds or catching sunrise views. Morning flights are simply less chaotic, and that's a fact confirmed both by pilots and schedulers behind the scenes. Here's why. Most aircraft are parked overnight, prepped, and fully serviced before dawn. That means your early flight is less likely to suffer from maintenance delays or crew timing issues. But more importantly, air traffic itself is calmer in the morning. The skies are less congested, and the domino effect of delays hasn't started yet. As the day progresses, one delay ripples into another. A late arrival in one city can delay a departure in another, and before you know it, you're sitting at the gate waiting for a crew stuck 3 cities away. Morning flights dodge most of that drama. Another plus? Turbulence. Air tends to be smoother earlier in the day because the ground hasn't yet heated up, which means fewer thermals stirring the skies. Pilots often report calmer conditions during morning flights, making them ideal for nervous flyers. Flight attendants who have worked for years will even tell you they book morning flights when traveling with family or elderly relatives, because fewer delays mean fewer chances for stressful situations. So next time you're picking a departure time, aim for early. It's not just a preference, it's a proven insider strategy to fly with fewer hiccups and a whole lot more peace of mind. Number 10. Why sitting in the back might score you extra perks. Most travelers dread the back of the plane. Longer boarding time, last to exit, and usually right next to the bathroom. But ask a seasoned flight attendant where the hidden perks are, and they'll often point straight to the rear rows. Here's the insider truth. Service dynamics are different at the back. Up front, everything has to look uniform. Cabin crew serves rows in order, and there's usually more attention on sticking to the rulebook. But in the back, things loosen up a bit. If you're polite and friendly, attendants are more likely to offer you extra snacks, additional drinks, or even a spare blanket without drawing attention. Why? It's just easier. The back galley is the crew's space during the flight. It's where they prepare meals, grab supplies, and take short breaks. Passengers seated nearby naturally get more face time and, if they're kind, sometimes get rewarded for it. Plus, back row passengers are out of view of most of the cabin. If a flight attendant wants to hand over an extra pack of cookies or a full can of soda instead of a cup, it's much easier to do so without causing a fuss. Sure, you'll be the last off the plane, but if you care more about comfort during the flight than rushing to the exit, those final rows can actually feel like a mini upgrade without costing a penny. And that's a trick many frequent flyers quietly use to their advantage. Number 9. The one item you always forget, but flight crew never do. You've got your boarding pass, your ID, your neck pillow, even your snacks. But when the cabin crew starts handing out customs forms mid-flight, one thing suddenly becomes worth gold: a pen. And guess what? Almost nobody has one. Flight attendants know this all too well. They've watched entire rows of passengers scramble to borrow a pen to fill out immigration cards at 3 a.m., often causing delays or last-minute stress before landing. That's why many flight crews stash 2 or 3 pens in their uniform pockets. They're not about to be stuck begging strangers. It may sound like a small detail, but it can make a huge difference, especially if you're flying internationally. Those forms are required in many countries, and if you're the last person filling them out, you'll be the last one off the plane. Worse still, you might hold up the line at passport control. Bringing a pen might seem old school, but it's one of the smartest habits veteran travelers and airline staff swear by. And it's not just for forms. Sometimes you need to jot down gate changes, write down an address, or fill out a lost luggage slip. A pen keeps you prepared for all of it. So next time you're packing your carry-on, toss in a reliable pen. You'll avoid the awkward pen hunt dance and glide through immigration like a pro. It's one of those tiny habits that makes you look and feel like someone who knows exactly what they're doing. Number 8. The airline app hack most passengers miss. Flight delays, gate changes, lost baggage. These things can throw your whole travel day into chaos. But here's a tip from cabin crew and frequent flyers alike. Your airline's app is a silent lifesaver. Most people only download it to get a boarding pass, but that's just the beginning. Flight attendants often check these apps before they check in with the gate desk. Why? Because updates show up there first. If your gate changes last minute or your flight is delayed, the app usually knows before the loudspeaker even announces it. It's like having inside info in your pocket. And it doesn't stop there. Some airline apps now let you rebook yourself if a flight gets canceled, without waiting in long lines or calling customer service. Imagine skipping the chaos and handling it yourself with just a few taps. The app also gives you live updates on baggage tracking, boarding group instructions, and even lets you pre-select meals or request special assistance. Some even notify you when upgrade opportunities become available. Seasoned flyers, including off-duty pilots and flight attendants, often check their airline apps while boarding, just in case a last-minute seat switch or system update sneaks in. If you're not using the app, you're flying blind compared to everyone else. So next time you book a flight, download the app before you head to the airport. Keep notifications turned on. You'll stay informed, avoid unnecessary stress, and might even save your own trip in the process. Number 7. Special meals. Secret food upgrade. Ever stare at your in-flight meal and wonder how chicken can taste like cardboard? You're not alone. Airline food has a bad reputation, and for good reason. Mass production, time constraints, and high-altitude taste bud dulling all play a major role. But here's something most passengers don't realize. There's a way to eat better without spending a dime. Flight attendants and frequent flyers know this trick well. Request a special meal in advance. Vegetarian, gluten-free, kosher, halal, seafood, low sodium. Airlines offer a wide variety of alternative meals, and here's the secret. These meals are usually fresher, often tastier, and best of all, they're served before the main meal service. Airline kitchens prepare special meals separately and often with higher attention to dietary guidelines. That means your vegetarian curry might be miles ahead in flavor compared to the mass-distributed pasta trays. Another bonus? You don't need a medical reason or dietary restriction to request one. You just select it when you check in online or during booking. It's completely free, and most airlines honor the request as long as it's made 24 to 48 hours before departure. Flight attendants often mention this to friends and family flying long haul. It's a way to feel like you're getting premium treatment without upgrading your ticket. Plus, you get to eat early, which is perfect for you if you want to sleep through the rest of the service. So skip the rubbery chicken and mystery meat. Choose smart, click that special meal option, and enjoy something a little better at 35,000 feet. Number 6. Why shorts are the worst flight outfit according to Crew. Wearing shorts on a flight might seem like a smart move, especially if you're headed somewhere sunny. They're comfy, easy, and perfect for breezing through the airport, right? But according to flight attendants, it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make when flying, and it's got nothing to do with style. It's all about hygiene and temperature control. What most travelers don't realize is that airplane seats don't get deep cleaned after every flight. With tight schedules and fast turnarounds, cleaning crews often have just minutes to wipe surfaces down. That means the seat you're about to sit on has already been used by dozens, maybe hundreds of other passengers that week. Sweat, spilled drinks, crumbs, even lice, yes, really, can linger in the fabric. Wearing shorts? Your bare skin is making direct contact. Then there's the issue of temperature. Cabins often drop to uncomfortable lows mid-flight, and ventilation systems don't always reach every row evenly. What starts off feeling breezy quickly turns into a chilly nightmare at 350,000 feet. That's why flight attendants always wear long pants or tights. Not for fashion, it's for protection and comfort. Stick to joggers, leggings, or jeans. Your body and immune system will thank you. Number 5. The seat that makes turbulence easier to handle. Turbulence might be the most hated part of flying, especially for nervous travelers. But there's one place on the plane where the bumps feel less intense, and it's not first class. According to pilots and flight attendants alike, the smoothest ride is over the wings. It sounds strange, but it comes down to balance. The wing area is near the aircraft's center of gravity, where movement is minimized during shaky weather. While the front and rear of the plane might bounce and sway more during turbulence, the middle stays relatively stable. One pilot explained it like sitting in the middle of a seesaw. It doesn't move as much as the edges. So if you're booking a seat and worried about rough air, aim for rows close to the wings. It might not be glamorous, but you'll feel more at ease. And for those who dread every little shake, this trick could change your whole experience. Number 4. Why power banks are more important than your boarding pass. You've probably charged your phone at an airport station at least once. It seems harmless, right? But according to flight crew and tech experts, public charging stations aren't just unreliable, they can be dangerous. This threat even has a name: juice jacking. It happens when hackers use USB charging ports to access your phone's data or install malware. It's a growing problem at busy terminals where people let their guard down. That's why airline staff, especially off-duty flight attendants and pilots, always travel with their own power banks. These portable chargers don't just keep your phone alive during long delays or in-flight entertainment, they also protect your privacy. A dead phone mid-trip means no boarding pass, no rideshare access, no translation apps, and no way to check your hotel booking. And here's something else most travelers miss. Many airport outlets are broken, outdated, or completely full. Relying on finding a spot when you need it is like playing tech roulette. Seasoned flyers carry backup power so they never have to stress about battery life. If you want to protect your data and avoid the panic of a dead phone, pack a fully charged power bank. Some flight attendants even keep small ones clipped inside their bag just in case. It's one of the smartest travel tools you can bring, and it works at 40,000 feet and everywhere in between. Number 3. Hidden booking tricks airlines hope you never learn. Airlines don't just charge you for extra legroom and carry-ons, they also quietly adjust prices based on your search habits. That's right, if you've ever noticed ticket prices rising the more you search, it's not in your head. Airlines and booking platforms track cookies and browsing history to spot repeat visitors. And once they know you're interested in a route, they might hike the price just slightly to pressure you into booking fast. But flight-savvy crew know better. Incognito, a private browsing mode, is the key to getting fair prices. It hides your search behavior and helps avoid artificial price inflation. Some even go a step further, clearing cookies between searches or switching devices entirely to compare rates. Another trick insiders use? Timing. Studies and airline reps agree. The best time to book is often Tuesday afternoon. That's when most fare match wars begin. after airlines release discounts on Monday evening. It creates a window where rates are lowest before demand catches up. And don't forget flexibility. Being open to midweek flights or flying on holidays can knock off a surprising chunk of your total costs. Pilots and flight attendants flying for leisure often use this hack to book personal trips at half the usual price. So next time you're looking for flights, remember, the cheaper deal isn't just about luck, it's about knowing how the system works and quietly working around it. Number 2. What your boarding pass is telling you that airlines don't explain. Your boarding pass may look like a boring piece of paper or a basic digital scan, but to an airline crew member, it tells a full story. Those tiny codes and numbers, they're not random. They reveal everything from your seat type to your priority level, and even hint at how your flight might go. Take the fare class code for instance. That one-letter symbol, like Y for economy, J for business, or F for first, doesn't just decide your seat. It affects your boarding group, upgrade eligibility, and even how the crew treats your request. Higher fare classes often mean flexibility and perks like better baggage allowances or bonus miles. Then there's the flight number. Most people gloss over it, but flight crew know that low numbers often signal premium or flagship routes. These flights usually have more experienced crew and better service because they're more closely monitored. Seat and boarding zone codes also tell you more than just where you sit. Flight attendants can often guess your travel frequency or loyalty level just by looking at your zone. That's how they know who might need more help or who's likely to know the drill. So while most passengers wave their passes and move on, crew are reading it like a cheat sheet. Once you understand what it all means, you can make smarter choices and maybe even position yourself for upgrades or better treatment. That flimsy card in your hand, it's got way more power than you think. Number 1. The real way to get upgraded without paying a dime. Let's get to the one thing every traveler secretly wants: a seat in business or first class, without the massive price tag. It sounds like a fantasy, but according to former flight attendants and airline insiders, free upgrades really do happen. The catch? They don't go to just anyone. Loyalty matters. If you're part of a frequent flyer program, even at the lowest tier, you're already ahead. When a flight is oversold or space opens up in premium cabins, agents often scan the loyalty list first. But here's what else helps: flying solo, checking in early, dressing neatly, and being polite. Flight attendants and gate agents take note of who's kind and composed. When push comes to shove, those are the people they're most likely to reward. And while many people assume upgrades are random or rigged, insiders say there's often more discretion than we think. If you're flying during peak business hours but booked last minute, the algorithm might skip you. But a solo traveler on an early flight who's courteous and clean cut, that's someone who gets flagged for a free bump. There's also a hidden human factor. Flight attendants have been known to quietly suggest upgrade candidates to gate agents, especially if they've had to reseat a family or calm a rowdy section. If you stand out in a good way, you might just be the one who ends up sipping juice in a lie-flat seat while everyone else files past. So while there's no magic button to getting upgraded, there is a formula, and now you know it. Now you know what really goes on behind the curtain. These aren't just theories, they're real insights from the people who've lived thousands of hours in the air. The next time you board, you'll be sharper, savvier, and maybe even one step ahead of the system. Which of these flight secrets surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments below, we'd love to hear your take. And if you're ready to keep flying smarter, hit that like button and subscribe, because we've got more behind the scenes secrets coming your way. Until next time, safe travels, and don't forget your power bank and pen. You're not flying blind anymore.